Hey, this is Joe D with the Roundhouse Report. Important to date this because things are so fluid. April 16th, Tuesday, 1:32 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. I am filled with madness because I have watched most of my sources pander to the idea that, again, this has to do with the Iranian attack against Israel, where they sent 300 cruise, ballistic, and drones over there. Okay. So everyone is saying, number one, let me just point something out. Biden is saying, take the win, which means, hey, you guys shot down 99% of them. Take the win. Walk away. Okay. That's BS. If Mexico did that to us, there would be no take a win. The whole American public would be clamoring for war. But also the most disturbing part is that people seem to think that Israel did this on their own, and I know it's out there that they didn't. They had U.S. direct fire support from jets as well as destroyers. They had England's help. They had Jordanian help. They had Saudi Arabian help in terms of locating missile tracks and patterns. And they had the UAE help as well. All right. US, UK, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. 5 countries. Now, everyone's talking about how, hey, Israel shot down 99% of these projectiles. Iran sent 300. And there's like, you shot down most? No, they did not. The Americans shot down about 1/3. So we were looking at 300 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles. The Americans shot down 1/3 right out the gate. And then the UK and these other, Jordan and these other, Saudi Arabia even, and the UAE, they tracked these flight routes and they helped Israel destroy them. Jordan launched its own missile defense system in order to destroy these things. Okay, so Israel did not win because what if nobody else was there? What if the United States wasn't there? The UK wasn't there? Jordan didn't respond. And there's another France, Saudi Arabia. Let's say nobody was there. It was just Israel getting attacked by Iran. Would those 300 projectiles, I mean, again, the Americans shot down 1/3 of them. So how much does that say about Iran or Israeli missile defense systems? I know they're vaunted. I know they're done well. But this was a case in which the Iron Dome really wasn't used. The Arrow system, David Sling, the former being long-range missiles, David Sling being medium-range missiles, they were used. The Iron Dome was not. And in some instances, I can't say forever, or in general, it wasn't used. It was, I'm sure. But the majority was actually Israeli airplanes, U.S. airplanes, even UK airplanes, knocking these things out from the sky to the sky. So when people say that Israel had a win, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Because nobody knows what would have happened had none of their allies been there. Had we not helped them, let's say 100 missiles would have dropped into Tel Aviv. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They have not been tested. Again, this all stems back to April 1st when Israel launched an assassination attack at the consulate embassy of Iran in Syria. They didn't hit the actual embassy. They hit the consulate next door, where 7 high-ranking dudes from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, as well as intermediaries between Hezbollah, etc., they were all meeting to figure. And by the way, 2 major generals were killed, one of which was considered the most high targeted since Soleimani in 2020. And the other 6 are considered to be, they were the main dude, and the other 6 were like the intermediaries. How do we get supplies from Iran through Syria to Hezbollah? That's what they were meeting about. And they were also talking about Hamas, obviously. So, Israel struck them on April 1st, and as you all probably know, any country on Earth's embassy in any foreign country is considered their own territory. Whether it's half an acre or 1 acre, it's sovereign territory, whatever country that embassy is for. Israel attacked the consulate building next to the Iranian embassy in Syria, in Damascus. Iran took that like literal. All right, you just attacked our soil. Okay, whatever. They can talk whatever they want. They'll just talk, except for this time. Because this time they orchestrated an unprecedented historical attack from Iranian soil to Israeli soil. Period. It doesn't matter if 99% were shot down. And again, had the Allies not been there, how many would have been shot down then? The whole thing is madness. I see the entire world, including the UN UN General Assembly, the top dude at the UN. It escapes, the title escapes me, but he's like the secretary. No, it was the Secretary General of the UN, not of the UN. It was either UN, NATO, EU, I don't know, but the top dude. No, it was the UN Security Council. They came out and they said, Israel, don't retaliate. Take the win. Take the win. This is also coming out of the Biden camp. He's actually the one that quoted "take the win." So Biden, all of the Europeans, and everyone else on this nation, or on this earth, has condemned Israel because they were attacked by Iran. So now everyone's like, is Israel going to respond, or should they accept it? They assassinated 7 dudes in Syria. Iran launches munitions from Iran into Israel. Tit for tat? No. Because Iran intentionally, they left the headlights on their drones. The drones that came in had headlights. It was all to show a spectacular, I don't know what to say, a photography, a video exposition of what they're capable of doing, but only in I'm not sure what to say. Let me see here. This is really tough for me to really articulate because I have watched about 10, 12 sources today, so I'm pretty overwhelmed. But the rest of the world is saying, Israel, don't respond to being attacked from one nation state to another. Show restraint so as not to open a broader regional war. Iran attacks Israel directly, and then Israel is told to not fire back so as to prevent a regional war. This is this is the madness of it all. This is insane. Iran is the one that opened up to a potential regional war. Iran, not Israel, Iran. Iran is the one who launched 300 cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, drones. Iran is the one that launched 300 of them into Israel. And had Israel's not had their allies not been there in force, what would have happened then? Therefore, there is no, you take a win. Bullshit. The United States dropped out 1/3 of all projectiles coming in. And that's not including the UK, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, UAE, all that. So everyone's telling Israel, don't escalate. Fucking Iran just escalated. They fired 3. This is historical. This is unprecedented. Iran has never done this. Iran launched 300 projectiles from their territory into Israeli territory. And Israel's being told to show restraint so as not to provoke a larger regional war in the Middle East. Nobody is saying, well, Iran actually provoked a wider escalation in the Middle East by doing what they did. And of course, Israel has to respond. No, Israel, don't respond. Take the win. What win? They had so much help from their allies. What win? Take the win. Don't respond to Iran, because we're afraid that if you retaliate, if you do a counterstrike, that it'll open up a regional war. like I said before, Iran did that for everyone. They opened a regional war, which with Israel needs to respond with force. Otherwise, they lose all deterrence power. This would be equivalent to, I mean, this is a little bit more major than what's going on now, but let's just say Pearl Harbor happened, right? Pearl Harbor happened. This would be equivalent to England and our allies saying, you fought them back enough, they only sank some of your stuff, just call it a day, leave them alone. Because if you escalate, the wider war may become prominent. Okay. So other countries are allowed to be attacked, and then they're allowed to respond in force. But Israel, again, to quote Douglas Murray, Israel is the only country on the planet that's not allowed to win a war. This is true in the Gaza Strip. This is true with regard to Iran, just in general, let alone Iranian proxies. So this is a bunch of bullshit. I am just, it's maddening. It's maddening. It is maddening to see all of my sources, except for about 3 or 4, touting, not directly touting, but touting, Israel don't do anything. It's like, man, what's wrong with you people? So my video today is about Iran opened a direct missile, cruise missile, and drone attack against Israel. Israel, with its allies, majority, shot down those projectiles, and then Israel's supposed to take that as a win for their Iron Dome. Like I said, they barely use the Iron Dome. So Israel's supposed to absorb that, and then they're not allowed to respond. Mexico fires 300 rockets into New Mexico, Arizona, Texas. We would flatten Mexico. I don't. This double standard that Israel's held up against is really tragic, and I don't know why it's there other than just people don't like Jewish people, because there's no other explanation. So I don't know what to make of it. It's madness. Right now, it's just madness. People are telling Israel not to respond. It's madness. Madness. And that's the main point of this freaking video. This is madness. Again, this is 1:45 p.m. Tuesday, April 16th, Eastern Time. And I haven't seen one pundit or one analyst or security analyst come out and say that Israel must respond, that the attack from Iran was, yes, fought back, but by allies, that it could happen again. Because once the status quo is established, Iran can attack Israel. That's the status quo now. Iran can attack Israel whenever it wants. So Israel needs to respond robustly. Ideally, they'll target, because Israeli sources, and this goes against most scholarly sources in the world community, most of them say 6 months for Iran to get a bomb if they rush for it. Israel's saying 2 weeks. So I think that gives a little bit of insight into their target list. It's going to be in the nuclear facilities, IRGC camps, command and control centers. They need to respond robustly. Otherwise, it's going to happen again. And the whole world will say, Israel, sit on your hands. Let yourself be attacked. Don't respond. If you respond, you risk escalation. Bullshit. All right. I think I've gotten enough of my madness out. Have a great day. This is Jody Roundhouse, the Roundhouse Report. Hope you learned something. Leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you.